Hiya guys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Sean Hills and welcome to A Soul's Experience, a channel dedicated to helping the human race remember who we really are. I'm sat in my little studio part, haven't got it all set up fancy at the minute, literally brick wall behind me, but I think the message is quite important. So it was just, I wasn't planning on making this video, it's just I was sat here and I find the morning's a great time to sit with God, sit with the divine, and allow them messages to come to you, allow them downloads, them aha moments, them bing, the light bulb moments to come to us. The morning is so good for that. So if you can find a quiet little space in the morning to get them light bulb moments, I would really recommend it. So as I was sat here, I was thinking, you know, I've been struggling with the feeling of guilt recently. Sometimes on my spiritual journey it feels like I take 5 steps forward and then 10 steps back, and then 10 steps forward and 5 steps back, and sometimes it feels like I'm progressing so good and then one day I can just feel so weak, if that's the right word to use. I can feel weak and give in to temptation, give in to wanting to feel, you know, having them low days that we all get, you know, because we're still human, let's face it, we're still here in the 3D world right now, and it's not easy. And then it just made me think, what are we doing here? And if what are we doing here, and what is God doing with us? Like, what are we actually all doing? Why are we going through all of this? And then something came to me, you know, I keep hearing as above, so below. And I had this image of us when we have our bad days, when we have our lost days, and there's pieces of ourselves that that aren't aligned with who we truly are. You know, we can spend a day and 90% of the time we can be harmonious and we can be loving and giving, and you know, but it's really difficult to live in that energy 100% of the time. So there are parts of us that are lost. There are parts of us that need to be fixed, almost brought back home. And I believe this is what God's doing with us. So just hear me out here. So if you imagine we are the Alpha, the Omega, we are all, right? There is no one above us. We are the source, the creation. And we are whole. But we are in a universe of exploration and experience and growth and evolution. And so we put ourselves out of our comfort zone. We put ourselves away from ourselves, out of source, into areas of unknown, where we're not sure exactly what's going to happen because of free will and because of destiny and because of karma and the way the universe works, and energetically being pulled and pushed from what we are attracted and not attracted to. This whole play of evolution, vibration, this whole play of attraction and magnetic, you know, energy, this pull, this push, this creation, this destruction. There's this dance of God putting himself out into the darkness, putting pieces of light out into the darkness and seeing what is created there. Now this is scary, and this is part of duality. This is part of separation. This is part of God not wanting to feel alone. It was a sacrifice. It was a piece of sacrifice, actually. The Lord sacrificed pieces of themselves to go and explore into the universe, into the darkness. Some fragments of God are doing absolute divine, magical, loving work out there in the universe, and there's magical miracles and pieces of creation happening all of the time. But alongside of that, because Source has allowed us to be lost, out there into the universe with free will, what has come along the side of that light is dark. Beauty and ugliness, creation and destruction, love and hate, faith and fear. It's created a duality, this sense of separation, if there has to be one on this side, then there has to be one on this side of the opposite. And this is how the universe has grown and expanded. And I feel the game, the ultimate is to push. The divine is pushing the light into the darkest depths, where it is finding things that are not in line with source, obviously, because it is so far out in the depths. But the trick, the skill of God, the love of God is so powerful that no matter how dark into the depths, no matter what is created in the darkest depths, the love has that magnetic pull back to source. And can the Lord take the darkest corners of the universe, which are completely out of aligned with source, and can the Lord turn the darkness into light and bring it back home? Can it find the lost pieces of itself and call it back home, like we are doing here on earth? You see, we find pieces of ourselves that are not aligned with ourselves, and we want to call them back into alignment. And with us being fractals of the light, of the divine, of God, little godlings down here on earth, we have been cast into the deepest, darkest depths of this universe, where, let's face it, down here on planet Earth, horrible things can happen. But also miracles can happen every single day through sheer love. Can a loving being be down here on a place like Earth and still shine the love of God through their souls? If we can do that, then what we are doing is bringing things that are not aligned with us back into alignment. When we do that, we are going back into alignment with source. And source, through the love that we are connected to, that they constantly give us down here on earth, we are not disconnected from the love of God. It just feels that way. But through our guardians and our angels and our spirit guides, constantly that connection to the other world is there whispering in our ear. You know, we do have the little devil there. Satan is a very real entity of evil. It is polarity, it is the opposite of love. It is the need to not want to be loved by God, to feel that you have complete control within your hands, that you are the master of your universe, and that God has no say in it. This is devilish. This is devilish because we are trying to disconnect ourselves from the one thing that is going to take us back home. True unconditional love. And there are acts we do every single day that separates us from that love. And once you're awakened, you know what they are. They were hidden in the darkness when we were blind, when we could not see. But now we can see, we can see. And I mean that. Now we can see, we can truly see. And I myself struggle after 30, I'm 38 now, I've been on my spiritual journey for 4 years. So after 34 years of learning to live like a human being, I had to drop everything I knew and learn to live like a human being. But the human being, the real human being, not the lost human being, the magical human being that can heal itself, that can meditate and leave, that has 3 eyes, that has a pineal gland, that can connect beyond the veil, that can remote view, that can use telepathy, that can levitate and walk on water, eventually, after enough practice. But this is the real human being. And my last video, Don't Forget to Be Human, is all about how amazing human beings truly are. We're not dumb little animals. Yes, we can feel that way when we're acting out of alignment. It does feel dumb, doesn't it? To do something that ultimately hurts ourselves in the long run, just for a moment of pleasure. We might poison ourselves with alcohol or drugs. We might poison our minds with pornography. We might poison our souls with gambling and addiction and trying to get that quick, pleasurable fix that doesn't last because it isn't based on love. And I know I do these things still. Not, all of it. I do things still that take me out of alignment when I'm having a bad day, when I feel that I actually want to rebel against the spirit for things not going my way. And this brings me to making videos like this where I feel guilty for deliberately turning my back on the Lord out of anger, thinking that I might spite them by living the life that I choose to live out of alignment with love, for forcing me to be down here on earth when I didn't want to come back after dying when I was 6, to live out of regret and anger to just spite all my guardian angels for not helping me and giving me the life I want. This is a really destructive way of living, because as much as I kick and scream and when I hate the other side, they have nothing but love for us. And I'm basically kicking and screaming against myself because all of the help I need is right there. It has been shown to me. The evidence I need of an eternal life has been given to me. How many people have been blessed with actual first-hand evidence of the other side? I feel so, so blessed to have seen the other side, to experience the other side, to know that death is not the end. And it kind of, once that fear of death had left me and I know that there is a beautiful place on the other side, I was left with, well, why are you leaving me down here then? What's the point? Well, the point is that I was gifted. And if anyone who'd known me before knows I was not spiritual, I was not religious, I wasn't really into any of this. Yes, I was asking the big questions through trauma, like, will I ever see my mum again when she passed away when I was 14? You know, will I ever see my loved ones, my nans, my best friends? I've lost so many people at such a young age through drinking drugs, if I'm being honest. That was the lifestyle that I chose to reincarnate into addiction, to see if I can bring all of that unalignment back into alignment. You see, if I fix myself in this life, I'm not only healing myself, I'm healing hundreds, possibly thousands of years of generational trauma. And the reason I have reincarnated into this family that has struggled with addiction so bad is because it was my turn to try and win the fight. You see, my mum lost her fight with addiction. Her mum lost her fight with addiction. As far as I know, every single person on my mum's side is pretty riddled with alcoholism and drug addiction. Many of them have lost their lives at a young age because of it, or been locked up. My uncle was locked up for over 14 years through addiction and making a very terrible mistake. So my family really was destroyed by that, but my soul saw this. It saw this unalignment out in the darkest depths, and it said, you know what? I can be strong enough to go down there and to change this and to bring this family back into alignment. And maybe I've been reincarnating with this family for eternity. Maybe I've been here 100 times before and not been able to beat this addiction, but there's something very, very special about being alive in 2025. See, for hundreds of thousands of years, we've been building ourselves up and dropping and building ourselves up and dropping. We've nearly made it to the evolution of the human species a couple of times before, Atlantis being one of them. But we never quite got it right, and the world had to reset and cause an extinction level event where we had to start again. Well, there's no more starting again for planet Earth. This is it. This is the big one. It's already been written in the stars that we have moved into a higher consciousness. That the Earth itself is actually travelling through the solar system out of lower vibrations into higher vibrations. Pardon me. And because we are products of Gaia, humans are products of Gaia. Gaia is not a product for us. You know, we are literal manifestations of Gaia. Gaia manifested us to be able to live here so that we can coexist, so that we can look after the real Garden of Eden, which is actually here on planet Earth, if we can open our eyes and see it. But this is what's so beautiful about 2025. We can feel that this is the life. I know this is the life. I've been gifted with the vision back in 2007 that the whole world changes this year. And I've made so many videos on it. There is a world-changing event that happens this year, and then we go into a golden age. And I was shown this back in 2007 before I had any idea what spirituality was. I just saw a timeline, and I saw 2020 and the world changing. And when that came true, it was kind of like a jaw hitting the floor moment, like, oh my God. And then the next big one was 2025, which is we're in now. But this has to happen. This is what they were talking about in all of the Madics and the Mayan texts, and just all of, even, you know, we can go back to the Dead Sea Scrolls, we can go back to all of the lost. You've got the Book of Enoch, and you've got all these kind of historical records. Yes, some of them have been debunked, but some of them absolutely true. I mean, the tablets that they found hand carved in Egypt with kings that had lived over 20,000 years. A king that had reigned 20,000 years. And, you know, this was kind of around the time that the pyramids were built, and, you know, we had ascended masters coming down to help the human race. But this has happened. Okay, so if we look at history, this is what's so super exciting. If we look at history and the times that humans nearly made it in history, they were helped by ascended masters. Gods from the skies, they said. You know, they even drew the little spaceships and the men and people in spacesuits coming down to help them, to show them advanced technology. And this is why we can't explain how they built the pyramids still with ropes and chisels. It's quite, you know, it's quite common knowledge in the spiritual community that advanced civilizations from other planetary systems, Sirius B and all of that kind of Orion's belt, came down and helped with the construction of the pyramids. Anyway, I'm going off topic there. I'm absolutely fascinated with the pyramids and how they were built. I really feel like we're going to find out really soon, within the next couple of years, the truth around the pyramids. But if we look at history, well, this is what I was saying, if we look at history and the times that humans nearly made it, nearly ascended, they were always helped by other advanced beings. Now this is really exciting, because I know for a fact that this is the time that we advance, 2025. This is the catalyst. Something happens this year that projects us into the advancement of the human species. We do not fail this time. We do not fail this time, and I know this in my heart of hearts. I know this to be true. So should we be expecting advanced beings to come down and help us with this awakening? I think so. I really believe that within the next 6 months, well, I know in the next 6 months something massive happens, but within that next 6 months, it could be the fact that we are greeted by other civilizations not from this planet, or from this planet, but so far in the future that we didn't even know that they lived here, in our oceans, in the Antarctic, lots of places that humans haven't discovered yet. 80% of our oceans are undiscovered. So there very well could be massive civilizations living in our oceans, and I believe there definitely 100% is. Because this planet isn't just for humans. We kind of got stuck in the bubble of thinking we were the alpha and we were the omega and we were the be all and end all, and that humans sitting there farting and picking our noses were the most advanced species in the universe. Really? I mean, yeah. I mean, we're pretty smart compared to... I don't know actually, because animals are pretty smart. When you actually look at the insect world and the plant world and the animal world, they're insanely clever and ingenious, and I mean, animals surprise me every single day, and I think they're going to just continue to surprise us, because this is the year of surprises. This is the year of change. This is the year of evolution, and I know that if we do not pull our fingers out and align ourselves, we're only going to have ourselves to blame, because every single opportunity is going to be given to us over the next 35 years. Over the next 35 years, up until 2057, every single opportunity is going to be given to us to change. And it really starts in 2026, because we have to get this year out the way. I keep saying this is the year that we awaken, but it isn't. It's 2026, because this is the year of the catalyst. 2025 is the year of the catalyst. Then we go into a golden age. And I would not say that if I did not know that to be true. I don't want to get people's hopes up. I don't want people to be like hanging on to a little bit of thread and then it will go wrong next year. Because I promise you, hey, if the catalyst doesn't come this year, I'll remove my channel. If we don't go into a golden age, I'll remove my channel. That is how confident I am. I won't be there in 2 years' time talking about a catalyst that's going to happen, because it will happen this year. And when it happens, I will jump, as long as we still have electric, because we could be hit with an EMP that fries all the electric on planet Earth. But even if that happens, inside your mind, you might think, old Sean Hills on a soul experience, he said this would happen. He said this would happen. But I want you to I don't want you to be in fear, I want you to sit in faith and love, because this needs to happen. Whatever happens this year really does need to happen, because if we're left to our own devices, it could take another 100,000 years, and I think we're close, but I think it needs a big event for the rest of humanity to wake up. We live in a bubble. where I can talk to my beautiful community about eternal life and love, and they understand me, they get me, and I get them. We're all about the positive vibes. We're all about trying to push humanity into a positive place. But I walk out on the street in town and I see people still arguing over like a queue at a bus stop, wanting to get into a punch up over a parking spot. And I think these are the people that need the catalyst. These are the ones that are still living in that fight or flight, that angry way of living, like I've just got to make it to my next paycheck, and anyone who gets in the way of that is an enemy, and no one can help me but myself, and all this pressure. They're the people that need just a big slap in the face and a wake-up call like, man, your brothers and sisters around you are not the enemy. They are not the ones holding you down. They are not the ones making you pay taxes through the nose while you work your butt off. They are not the ones making house prices too high, so we're going to have to take 2 generations to buy a house. A 60-year mortgage. Ugh, makes me want to be sick. Ugh, makes my heart want to vomit when I hear the way that the government are trying to control people financially and just keep us down. That vibration just feels like it wants to eat away at my human flesh. Ugh. It is not your brothers and sisters around you, your universal brothers and sisters, your universal family that are keeping you down. And I hate to sound like a big conspiracy theorist, but it is the 1%. It is this little tiny group of selfish, just destructive and deceptive, I wouldn't even call them human beings. I'd call them fakes, non-player characters, NPCs, these NPCs that don't have a soul, that are just walking around and trying to keep us down. For all we know, they're advanced AI and they don't want to see the human race blossom, for all we know. Walking around in human suits, pretending to be presidents and prime ministers and just ruining the planet for everyone. But anything not based in love will crumble this year, and that is what the catalyst is. We're going to see a breaking down of the old, and it's going to look destructive, right? And if we don't do it ourselves, Mother Nature is going to do it for us. The earth has had enough. The earth has had enough. If we want to continue to keep going to wars and murdering innocent people, if we want to continue to keep drilling and killing this planet and smothering it with plastic, it's going to do a waken to a shaking and a shaking to awaken. It is going to shake things up. It is going to burst its lid and blow its top. The earth has had enough. And that time is coming. The time is coming. But ultimately, amongst all of this, what we are doing here is bringing the darkness back into alignment. And what God is doing is bringing us, pieces of himself, of herself, of themselves, back into alignment. So we are doing God's work here. God is doing his work there, and it is one beautiful piece of work, a connection to bring all of us back to source, back to love. And it will become very, very obvious this year which parts of you are out of alignment because the light is shining it. It may feel like you're taking 10 steps back, but really all that's happening is the light inside of you is just screaming no more. And the more it screams you're not allowed that bit of chocolate cake, the more you want the chocolate cake, right? And we might indulge on the chocolate cake, we might indulge. But then we feel that bit of guilt. But it's not about the guilt, it's about saying, right, I feel sick now. I shouldn't have indulged on that cake. I feel sick. Let me align myself back into love where I'm going to indulge on love. I'm not going to indulge on gluttony and pleasure and addiction and quick fixes because I feel depressed. I need to indulge on love. Something that's going to fix me and heal me. While I now look at the cake and think, ugh, that's really bad for me. There's actually no part of me that wants that anymore. And the cake is metaphysical, okay? Because we all love a bit of chocolate cake now and again, and there's no point being alive if we're not going to enjoy the little pleasures of life. That is being human. But the things that aren't human, the things that don't actually bring us pleasure, but we still do them, they're the things that are out of alignment. You know, I'm not saying that we must live like monks. You know, I mean, I go swinging out of trees and skateboarding, jumping off cliffs into the sea and backflipping around and doing my martial arts and teaching the martial arts and loads of fun. I have so much fun and be goofy and silly and play and just act like a big kid, really. I love acting like a big kid because I don't know what being grown up really means. I don't know what that's actually supposed to mean. I see some adults 38 years old and I look and think, man, you look boring and bored. Like, why are you grey and bald already? What's going on there? You know? It's because they forgot to play. It's because someone told them that when you hit to 30, you have to be boring. Well, that's completely out of alignment too. You see, you might not know this, but the brief time I met God, and Jesus, when I met Jesus, the sense of humour that came through, the joy, the jolliness. If you can imagine the jolliness of Father Christmas, that's the same kind of jolliness that God has. This sense of humour. I didn't know Jesus Christ had a sense of humour. You know? And I thought I'd committed something quite bad when he came to me. You know, I searched for God without searching for Jesus, and I found the light of God. And it was after I found the light of God through meditation that the golden cross came up in a wave and said to me, like, don't forget about me. You know, like, oi, you're looking for God, man. The only way's through me, he was saying. Like, don't forget about LJC over here. And it came across in this really loving, joking way. And I'll never forget the interaction that I had with Yeshua and the divine that one night. But I was giggling for like 4 days, just giggling at the fact that Jesus cracked a joke with me. And like, where did that come from? Where did that sense of like, that's what God is. God is love. He is fun. He is laughing. He's joy. He's all the happy emotions rolled into one. That's what God is. So when you're dancing, when you get the butterflies, when you hear a choir sing and the hairs stand up on your neck, that is literally the divine energy of love passing through us. That is what we're here on earth to experience. That is the miracle and the magic of being human, that we can physically react to the energy of God so far in the deepest depths. So far on a planet like Earth, where we can look on the news and think there's people being blown up, people being unalived. There's all sorts of horrible trafficking going on and all kinds of things that you just don't even want to hear about. But please believe me, it's a very small percentage. And what the news does is try to magnify that and blow it up to make you think 99% of people are evil. Well, thank God that there are channels like this about that will tell you the truth. That when I look out my window, I see families wanting to love their children and love their animals. I see men and women going to work, trying to provide so they have food and shelter. I see the smiling postman. I know my postman by name. His name's Alex. Hello, Alex, if you're watching. I have a lovely postman I speak to. I have the council worker who works on the estate who I speak to daily. My neighbours. We go on the school run. We say hello. We have mothers' meetings and chats in the morning. Oh. This is the world I live in. I go teach martial arts on a Friday and help out with these amazing, beautiful little kids that are just so eager to learn and so full of passion for the martial arts. And they just want to vibe off good vibes, and they just remind me of the innocence of the human being before all the mistakes and before all the stickers are put on us like, you're no good, you're bad, you're not going to accomplish nothing, you're dumb, you're ugly, you're overweight, you're underweight, you're not muscly, you're too skinny. God, man. All of the labels that get stuck on us as we grow up from these beautiful little human beings. But that isn't who we are. Yeah? We are fractals of God that are trying to realign in parts of ourselves. And as fractals of God, God is up there trying to align us and bring us back home. So like I said before, it's this beautiful dance and combination of just love trying to intertwine back with love. Trying to mend and heal the fear, the darkness. Not erase it, not get rid of it, but heal it and call it back home. If you had a child that had lost its way and was out on the streets committing crime, and they knocked on your door one day and said, Mum, Dad, I'm sorry, I got lost, I made mistakes, but I want to change. Would you turn around to your child and say, no, in fact, not only am I going to banish you from the home, I'm going to destroy you. I'm going to erase your energy and kill you like you never existed. I'm going to wipe you out, son. I'm going to wipe you out, daughter. No. A parent wouldn't do that. Not even a human parent would do that. So an almighty, loving God has nothing but patience and time for us to heal ourselves, to bring ourselves back home, however many lifetimes it takes. And so this is the lifetime. This is the big one where the human race is ready to go back. And there will be a very small majority that don't quite make it, I believe. But I can't tell you that solely from the bottom of my heart, and I don't want to tell you things that I don't know. So as far as I know, 100% of souls could make it. Eventually they could. 100% of souls eventually could go back home. I don't know that. But what I do know, what I can promise you, is that a massive, massive majority of humans are waking up. And they're going to be waking up because something happens this year. And it wakes, the world says no more. The world says that this way of living isn't working anymore, and we must realign ourselves with love, for love is the only thing that is going to exist eternally in this universe. Hate, greed, fear can all be mended, can all be healed, can all be abolished and turned back into love and hope and faith. It just takes time, it takes strength, and it takes the soul. It takes the soul, and it takes the human being to carry the soul, to carry this vessel, to carry the soul into the physical, so that we may become into the image of the divine in the living physical. And this is what the universe is watching. This is the beautiful tapestry that is intertwining to make the universal picture of love. This is what the whole universe is watching. They're watching the humans going, I can't believe they're doing it. Look how amazing they're doing. It is the beauty, it is the show of love. It is the ultimate galactic show of love. And so if you're down here on earth with me and all of us at this great time of awakening, I really want to thank you for being here. It's tough, but it is beautiful. And if there's one thing we like on earth, it's a little bit of beauty. So if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to this channel. It's absolutely free and it does help the channel grow. And I can't do this without you. I can sit here for the next 30, 40 years and talk my truth and tell you about unconditional love and eternal life, and the fact that I've seen evidence of it, and I wouldn't tell you unless I knew it to be true. I can sit there, but without you spreading that message of love yourself, the ripples will not reach far enough. But even if I manage to help just one of you today, then this channel has done its job. I would like to help at least one person a day, one person a month, one person in my lifetime will be enough for me to say I tried my best in this great time of awakening. But with your help, we can really make positive change. I would love to hear from you. Please leave it in the comments below if you've had any magical or mystical experiences yourself. I would really, really love to hear from you. I know it is not easy to out yourself, to come out of the spiritual closet and say, do you know what? This happened to me. I've lost so many friends since coming out the spiritual closet. People look at me like I'm crazy, like I'm mad, like I've lost the plot. It's very isolating, but together with these communities, you guys give me strength to carry on. When I hear the messages that something I said has reached you, has helped you, this is the reason I keep making these videos, because I don't want to feel alone, and I don't want you to feel alone. And as the years progress, as this catalyst this year happens, there are going to be more and more of us waking up, and this community will grow. So please, please remember that you are never alone. I am always here for you. And if ever you need to talk or chat, please leave a comment or message, and I will promise that I will get back to you. You're not alone on your spiritual journey, and neither am I. We don't have to be alone. We can do this together. So thank you for being down here with all of us, and I will see you all soon. Much love for now. Please, please enjoy your holidays. Enjoy the sunny weather if it's sunny. Get an umbrella out if it's raining. Go get your skates on if it's windy and have some fun. And don't forget to play. Until next time, please take care of yourselves. Much love, and I will see you soon. Take care for now. Bye-bye.
There's not much to do when all I can is thinking about you. Not doing well, don't know where you are, 'cause you're not here.